I found out my sister had her engagement dinner without me after I paid $6,500. When the bill failed, she finally called. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when your own family, the people you'd do anything for, casually decides you're good enough to pay for everything, but not good enough to actually be there? That's what hit me like a ton of bricks. It was a cold, hard slap of betrayal, a stark reminder that to them, I was just a walking ATM, a silent background character in their main event. And it all started with an engagement. Let me tell you about my family. I'm Evan, I'm 30. I've always been the dependable one, the oldest kid, the default driver, the backup plan, the guy who knows exactly where the tax folders are. I work in accounts payable, so numbers are my life. My superpower? Clicking reconcile and actually meaning it. I live simply, in a tiny apartment above a bakery, so my mornings smell like fresh bread, a small comfort. My life is spreadsheets. I have one literally named everything because, well, it is. Then there's my sister, Chloe. She's 27, and she's mom's favorite in that way polite people pretend isn't real. Chloe is loud, she's shiny, and she's a master at asking for things in a tone that makes no feel like a personal betrayal. Her fiancé, Drew, sells luxury cars. He calls everyone boss and says family is everything only when he wants a favor. And our mom, Grace? She's anxious and kind, but absolutely terrible with money. She saves birthday bags like they're heirlooms and says, we'll figure it out, with tears in her eyes when a bill lands in her lap. Guess who always does the figuring? Me. 2 weeks ago, Chloe got engaged. She called me from some fancy rooftop, squealing, flashing that ring like it was a game show prize. I said, congratulations. And I genuinely meant it. I love good news, I love milestones, especially when they're not invoices covered in confetti. A few days later, I asked her about an engagement dinner. She'd mentioned a restaurant that didn't list prices online, which is always a red flag for me. Yeah, she said, her voice bright. Casual. Just close family. We'll do something sweet. Okay, I thought. What time? There was a pause, a dead silence I could feel through her chipper voice. Oh, she chirped, we already had it yesterday. Yesterday. My stomach dropped. Just close family, she added. I stared at my calendar. It said Tuesday. It also had my usual after-work run, chicken marinating, and call mom blocked off. Nothing about being excluded. Just close family? I repeated, the words tasting like ash. Mum, she replied, it was small, intimate. You know how mom gets. I looked at the dent in my coffee table, a permanent reminder of the time I tried to assemble a bookshelf alone. How do you lose your place in your own family? Quietly. One RSVP at a time, I guess. Got it, I managed, my voice sounding impossibly normal. It didn't feel normal. You're not mad, right? She asked, the way people ask when they're giving a command, not actually seeking an answer. No, I lied. Congrats again. She immediately launched into a monologue about centerpiece ideas and a wedding hashtag. I listened until my ears buzzed. I pictured my mom at a long table, worrying a napkin between her fingers, beaming about Chloe, while I stood in my kitchen, dicing onions for future me. Okay, I finally said when she took a breath. I have to get back to work. Love you, she said, hanging up fast, like she'd just ticked off a task. I sat there for a full minute, watching the cursor blink on my computer. Then I texted Mom, how was dinner? She sent back 3 heart emojis and a photo of a tiramisu with a sparkler, Chloe's hand, the ring, the sparkle. No Evan. I let my phone drop face down. I turned my chicken. I ran my miles. I slept badly, my dreams filled with loud rooms where I'd forgotten a password and everyone was laughing at me. I didn't bring up money. I didn't bring up anything. I shoved the sting into the same place I kept all the other small, quiet pains. Then, a few days later, my phone blared with Chloe's name, all caps. Evan, she shrieked when I answered. The card didn't go through. Did you forget to pay the bill? I stood in my kitchen, staring at the faucet I'd installed crooked. And then I heard myself say a sentence I'd uttered 100 quieter times. Didn't I warn you? See, here's the part people always skip, the part that makes the ending feel mean, but it's not mean. It's just math. We grew up in a two-bedroom with pastel walls and a constant stream of overdraft fees. Mom worked retail. Dad left when I was 8, moved 2 states away, and sends holiday texts like he's some generic brand. Proud of you, champ. I'm still not sure what he's proud of. Chloe, she arrived with hair bows and a laugh that bought her extra time on every single rule. By 15, I was the one who knew the login for our bank account. I balanced the budget on a notebook page while Mom paced, wringing her hands. They charge you for being poor, she'd said once, staring at an overdraft fee. So I started making lists. Lists turned into spreadsheets. Spreadsheets turned into habits. I learned to make soup that lasted 3 days. I learned to call the electric company and ask for a payment plan without crying. Chloe learned different things. She learned that if she said, "Please, Mommy," doors opened. At 16, she borrowed my debit card for a prom dress to try on. The return never happened. I ate ramen and told myself it was fine. At 19, she failed a class and asked me to pay the retake fee because she didn't want to disappoint Mom. I zelled her the amount. I told myself it was love. I even added a family line to my budget, $200 a month. First, it was grocery runs, then emergency cash, then, "You're so good with money, can you front it? I'll pay you Friday." Friday, of course, moved around like an eclipse you could never quite catch. 2 years ago, Chloe lost a job. She cried at Mom's kitchen table while Mom folded and refolded a dish towel. "It's just retail," Chloe sniffed. "They don't see my potential." 2 weeks later, she posted a photo from Cabo. Caption, "Self-care." Mom said she needed a reset. I paid the internet bill so Mom wouldn't lose her shows. Do you think I didn't say anything? I did. Once. Calmly. "I need you to tell me before you take my card," I said after a mystery charge from Glam Bar and Company. Chloe widened her eyes. "Oh my God, I meant to text. You're such a saint." She promised to pay me back. She zelled me $40 against a $187 charge and sent a heart emoji. I added a new tab to my spreadsheet, Chloe. Last year, Mom's car died. We sat in a gray waiting room that smelled like burned coffee. The mechanic said the number. Mom looked at me. I put it on my card and asked her to pay me $50 a month. She paid twice. Then Chloe needed a little help with a deposit for a new apartment. "I'll pay you back when my tax refund hits," she promised. The refund hit. My phone didn't. When Chloe met Drew, the math just got louder. He came to Thanksgiving with a monologue about sales quotas and a watch that paid for itself in the story. He called me money man and said, "We should invest together." I said no, and he laughed like I'd told a joke. They took Mom out for dinner at places with white tablecloths and posted photos with captions like "Family is wealth." I, meanwhile, got the bill for Mom's dental work, with no insurance discount applied. I paid it and ate leftover turkey for a week. When the engagement happened, I expected the glitter. What I didn't expect was to be demoted from family in the same breath as "we're all in this together." But you don't become not close family overnight. It's a steady demotion, disguised as "it's just easier this way." It's being the one who's always available until they need a better photo. After the just close family dinner news, I opened my spreadsheet to the Chloe tab. I scrolled. There it was, the prom dress, the retake fee, the internet bill, the dental thing, the apartment deposit, the quick borrow for lashes, you can't see the ring with busted lashes, Ev. The total sat at the bottom, like a weight on a fishing line. I closed the tab. Then came the call you heard the end of. The card didn't go through. Chloe breathless. "Did you forget to pay the bill?" I took a breath. "For what?" I asked, even though I knew. "The deposit for the venue," she said. "They were processing it from the dinner event manager." "It's under your card on file." "What card on file?" I asked, my voice dangerously calm. She huffed. The one you gave for the engagement dinner, duh. There it was. The part one hadn't mentioned yet. A week before, Chloe had sent a breathless text, Evan. Ah. Can you front the engagement dinner? Just a hold. We'll zell you right after. I, ever the responsible one, said, send me the invoice. I'll pay the restaurant directly. She sent me a PDF. I called the restaurant. The manager sounded polished. We can put your card on file to secure the private room, she'd said. Final payment due night of. I said, okay. I did the adult thing. I didn't go to the dinner. Just close family. Now, that same manager had used my card to process a deposit for the actual wedding venue. Chloe had called it a hold. It was anything but. I told you, I said, my voice rock steady. No more charges on my card without my yes. Chloe's tone went sharp. Don't be dramatic. It's just a deposit. You'll get it back after the wedding. Who signed the contract? I asked. Drew did, she said, with your card. That's not how weddings or credit cards work, I countered. She sniffed. The manager said it was fine. She said you were a gentleman. I am not a card on legs, I said. Can you stop making this about you? Chloe snapped. We're trying to build a family here. A few days later, she called again. Different tone now. Panic. The card didn't go through, she whispered. Did you forget to pay the bill? I stared at my spreadsheet. I paid my bill 2 days early, like I always do. The decline wasn't about my payment. It was about a new setting I'd added after the engagement dinner, no charges over $500 without text approval. I told Chloe I did that. She called me controlling. I told her it would save both of us. Didn't I warn you? I said, not unkindly. She exhaled like I'd slapped her. So, you're just going to embarrass me in front of the venue? The manager is saying we have to bring a new card by 5 or we lose our date. Then bring a new card by 5, I stated simply. Mom said you'd help, she said, softer, reaching for the usual door. I have been helping for 10 years, I told her. This is me stopping the bleeding. By sundown, my phone had 12 missed calls from Chloe, 3 voicemails from Mom, and 1 text from Drew. If you mess this up for us, you're dead to me. I screenshotted that one and put it in a folder called Save. Mom's voicemails were all the same melody in different keys. She's crying. Can't you just? I know she should have asked, but she's fragile. Family helps family. I started to type a long reply. I deleted it. I wrote 5 sentences instead. I'll pay what I agreed to pay, not what I didn't. I'm not the emergency contact for your wedding. Stop using my card without permission. Any vendor with my card on file needs to remove it today. If you want help, ask with numbers and a plan. I sent it to both of them. Then I set my phone face down and washed dishes for 30 minutes like it was a hobby. The next morning, Chloe posted a story, a black screen with white text. Imagine having a brother who doesn't care about your joy. 47 crying emojis and 1 tag at Drew_drives_trucks. I didn't reply. Drew posted a boomerang of champagne popping, caption, haters don't win. I counted to 10. It didn't work. I went for a run instead. By lunch, the venue manager called me directly. Hi, Evan, she said cheerfully. We're just reconfirming the card for the $6,500 engagement dinner balance and the $4,000 wedding deposit. I closed my eyes. Remove my card from anything related to the wedding, I said. I did not authorize that. As for the dinner, I authorized a hold for the room, not the open bar and fireworks or whatever else got added. It looks like packages were upgraded, she said delicately. Congratulations to your sister. Remove my card, I said again. Please. Today. There was a pause. Understood. I hung up and called my bank. I removed Chloe as an authorized user, an old mistake rectified. I set a spending alert to text me if anything even squeaked through. I emailed myself a checklist, cards, vendors, conversations. It felt like making a firebreak. And because people escalate when the ATM turns into a person, they escalated. That night, Mom invited me to talk it out over spaghetti. When I arrived, Chloe and Drew were there, a laptop open to a wedding spreadsheet. It had tabs like mine, but the numbers were pure fantasy. The top said, total, $48,700. The column tagged Evan was basically a wish list. You're labeled partner in love. Chloe chirped, as if that softened the math. It's just numbers, Ev, she said. It's just numbers, I repeated. Cool. Then you'll understand when I move zeros. Drew leaned back, smirking. We know you're a details guy, he said. We need that energy. What you need, I said, is a budget. Mom wrung her hands. Let's be nice, she whispered. I am being nice, I said. This is the nice version. Chloe threw up her hands. Fine. If you won't help, we'll ask Dad. Great, I said. Tell him it's for just close family. She flinched. Mom said my name like a warning. I shut my mouth. The next day, I made an appointment with myself. Step 1, stop invisible bleeding. Step 2, put boundaries in writing. Step 3, say them out loud with my calm voice. The breaking point didn't happen in some fireworks moment. It happened at a cake tasting. Chloe texted, hey. We're choosing flavors. Invite like we were all in a sitcom. 1 p.m. Saturday. If you love me, you'll come. I almost didn't. But then I thought about patterns. Patterns don't end on couches. They end in rooms where they usually grow. The bakery was a white box with gold chairs and a wall of fake flowers. A woman in pearls set down plates with tiny squares of cake, each labeled with a flag. Drew filmed. The spread like it was a car reveal. No filming me, I said. If I appear in any videos, take them down. Relax, he said. You look fine. I didn't ask about how I look, I said. Mom smiled too brightly. Taste the lemon, she chirped, shoving a fork at me. We sat. The owner started her pitch. Chloe interrupted to ask about tears and sparkler fountains. Drew asked about custom sugar logos. The owner smiled at me. And you are? I'm the brother, I said. No financial decisions will come through me. Her smile flickered. Of course. Chloe turned to me, an immediate pout forming. Don't be like this. Like what? I asked. Petty, she said. It's a cake. Be generous. I set my fork down. I am generous. You are counting on that generosity the way you count on oxygen. Drew snorted. Bars, he said, like I just freestyled. The owner waited, polite in the way people who need to get paid are polite. Okay. Chloe said, clapping once. Business. We're doing 5 tiers, fondant, gold leaf, the works. Delivery to the venue. And we'll put it on the card we have on file. No, you won't, I said. You will use your card. She blinked slowly, like processing bad Wi-Fi. Also, I continued, pulling a thin folder from my bag, because I am who I am, we need to clear a few things while we're all sitting. Oh my God. Chloe groaned. Did you bring a spreadsheet to a cake tasting? Yes, I said. And a plan. Mom touched my wrist. Maybe later? Now, I said softly. Before I get edited into a villain on a story with captions. Drew rolled his eyes. Make it quick. I looked at the owner. Give us 10 minutes. She nodded and walked to the counter, pretending to reorganize trays. I kept my voice low. Here's the list, I said, sliding a paper to Chloe. Remove my card from the venue file today. Close the tab labeled Evan on your wedding budget. I am not a funding category. Return any items purchased on my card after the engagement date or pay me by Friday. The amount is $1,834.20. I'd printed it out. Do not post my financial information again. I will enforce that. If you contact vendors as me, or with my card, I will call them myself and cancel anything that mentions my name. Chloe's face went from outrage to red to the laugh she uses when she's cornered. You really rehearsed this, she said. I did, I replied. I rehearse before I say hard things so I don't say cruel ones. Mom whispered, Evan, tone? My tone is fine, I said. Drew leaned forward. You think you can control the narrative, he said. People will think what they think. They will, I said. But my bank will think what it thinks, too. Chloe picked up the paper like it was a dare. You're punishing me for a miscommunication. It wasn't a miscommunication, I said. It was theft wrapped in just this once. She blinked. Wow. Also, I added, because I'd brought this part for myself, about the engagement dinner. You told me it was just close family after I asked what time to be there. You knew. You let me put a card down for a room I wasn't allowed in. Her mouth opened, then closed. It was last minute, she tried. No, I said, it was a choice. Mom started to cry, because when the room gets hot, she turns on the water. Please, she said. Chloe didn't mean to hurt you. She's under stress. The wedding is so much. She's not the only one under stress, I said. I pay my bills, too. Drew scoffed. You act like you're the only person with a job. I'm killing it this quarter. Cool, I said. Pay for your cake. He leaned back, smirking. I will. Chloe pointed her fork at me. You're making this about revenge, she said. Because you're salty about dinner. This isn't about revenge, I said. This is about closure. I'm done being the quiet background thunder of your main character life. The sentence landed like a gavel. Chloe's eyes glistened, like she might cry, or might throw the fork. Drew exhaled through his nose, the soundless laugh men make when they think they're above a conversation. I stood. Owner, I called gently. She came back, composed. Have we decided? Yes, I said. They'll choose a package within their budget and pay with their own card. We're done using mine. Chloe hissed, you're embarrassing. I'm preventing fraud, I said. You do not have my consent to use my name or my cards. Drew pushed back his chair. Are you serious? More serious than your down payment, I said. Then I could feel my therapist in my head saying, easy. I looked at Mom. I love you, I said. I will always help you talk to a dentist, or call the water company, or fix your porch light. I will not fund a wedding I wasn't invited to plan, beyond the part one already paid. What part did you pay? Chloe snapped. The part where I covered the engagement dinner room you hosted without me, I said. That's my gift. It's done. She went quiet then. Not the quiet of agreement. The quiet of calculation. She flipped the paper over and stabbed the lemon square with a fork, like it owed her money. Fine, she said. We'll figure something out. You will, I said, because that's what adults do. We tasted the cakes. The lemon was good. The chocolate was better. The owner took their card and swiped. It went through. The world did not end. The fake flowers did not wilt. We walked out into air that tasted like sugar and exhaust. Chloe didn't speak to me in the parking lot. Drew did. You think you won, he said, low. You'll see. I'm not playing, I said. That's the whole point. The day after the cake thing, my phone started a new game. Ping, ping, ping. Missed calls, 7. Texts, 19. Emails, 4. The subjects formed a chorus. From Chloe, wow. From Mom, please talk to me. From Drew, lawyer. From the venue, card update confirmation. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and made eggs. I ate them standing up, because sitting felt like therapy and I hadn't booked that hour. At 10:02 a.m., Chloe posted, when your own brother tries to sabotage your wedding. #toxic. The comments were ruthless, in a way that didn't make me feel better. Strangers wrote scripts with me as villain or hero. The truth was boring. I turned off a faucet, and people who were used to it running were mad. By noon, Mom had called 10 times. I answered on the 11th. Hi, I said. She was crying already. I don't recognize you, she said. You're so cold. I'm not cold, I said. I'm done bleeding. Words like that, she whispered, they make you hard. Numbers make me clear, I said. She sniffed. Chloe says you told the cake lady they couldn't afford things. I told her to use her own card. She says you're humiliating her. She humiliates herself when she hands strangers my card. Evan, Mom said, her voice small. Can't you please give a little for peace? I've given a lot, I said, for peace that never lasts. Silence. Fork scratching played on her end. She was eating stress toast. I love you, I said. I am not fighting you. I'm protecting me from your sister. She asked, incredulous. From patterns, I said. She sighed. Okay. We hung up. She texted, love you, 60 seconds later. I hearted it. The vendor call slowed. The owner emailed a receipt with a different last name at the bottom. The venue sent a note, per your request, your card has been removed. I printed both and put them in the folder labeled wedding, not mine. Drew didn't call. He sent 3 texts over 3 days. 1, pick up. 2, you're ridiculous. 3, meet me man to man. I didn't. Chloe sent a long message about how I ruined the vibe and made things awkward with Mom. I replied with 6 words, I love you. I'm not your bank. She left me on read and posted a photo of 2 champagne flutes clinking with the caption, we keep moving. Good move. Work stayed boring, in the way that saves lives. Invoices don't care who got left out of dinner. Numbers line up or they don't. I drank coffee, answered emails, ignored the itch to check my phone. I saw small signs that the world wasn't ending. Chloe asked a cousin for flower recommendations instead of me. Mom texted me a photo of a dress and asked, too much? I said, you look happy. She said, thank you for not telling me the price. I said, you're welcome. On day 5, Chloe called with a voice I hadn't heard in months, regular. Hey, she said. Hey, I said. So, she said, we figured out the budget. Good, I said. We cut the sparkler fountain, she said, like it cost her a bone, and the gold leaf. Proud of you, I said, and meant it. Also, she added, so fast it almost wasn't there, I shouldn't have said just close family. I was being mean. I'm sorry. I leaned against the counter. Thank you, I said. That hurt. I know, she said. I pretended you were the ATM so I wouldn't have to feel like a kid again. She exhaled. Also, Drew said he'd handle you, and I let him. That was gross. It was, I said. We want you at the wedding, she said. As a guest, not a wallet. I'll be there, I said. As a brother, not a bank. She laughed once, small. Okay. We hung up. I sat down at my little table and cried for 10 seconds. The quiet, relieved kind. Then I wiped my face, paid my electric bill, and went to work. In the next week, I noticed my body doing new things. My jaw unclenched. My shoulders dropped. I slept. I cooked rice, and it wasn't for tomorrow me stress. It was because I wanted rice. I called my dad back and let his "proud of you" roll off like rain. I bought a second set of sheets, because one set feels like an emergency. I still helped Mom with her dentist. I still brought batteries when her smoke alarm beeped. I just stopped letting family be a password that opened my wallet. I know my lines now. When my phone lights up with Chloe's name, I breathe. I decide if I have the bandwidth, and I say what I mean without heat. They adjusted. The wedding budget got smaller. The cake is 3 tiers, buttercream, lemon inside, no gold leaf. Chloe sent the order form with no cards attached and asked me to skim the numbers, not to pay. I did. She fixed what I flagged and said, "Thanks." Drew makes fewer family banker jokes. When he slips, she elbows him. Mom handled a disconnect notice by herself, then cried from pride over casserole. Progress looks like that. Quiet. Ordinary. I don't apologize for counting. I don't hand out my card just for a hold. I don't accept just close family from people who use family like a coupon. I'll show up to the wedding as a guest, bring a gift I chose, hug my mom when the music's too loud, and leave when the speeches start turning into invoices. If you're the Evan in your family, try this. I love you. I'm not your bank. Say it calm. Say it twice. The ones who love you will adjust. The ones who loved your wallet will find another wallet. No revenge. Just closure.